What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, we are VOD reviewing Terry. This is a really interesting player. If the name is slightly familiar to you guys, they made final lobby in the KO Coliseum World Championships, went 5th overall into that, so very solid, and won the APAC regionals for KO Coliseum. So very strong APAC player from Hong Kong, and he's actually playing on North America right now and has been kind of destroying it recently. You can see just this past couple of days, 29th of May, he's sitting at 500 LP, 2 days, and really the majority of this done in 1 day here. Yeah, 620 LP at the start of the day, ends the day almost 1,000 LP. It's like a 400 LP climb in 1 day, which is just absolutely crazy to watch. So we are going to check him out here. Also, you can see by my drip here, I am wearing the very nice TFT bomber jacket that Riot Games sent me for being a TFT partner. So shout out to Riot Games for sending me this. I mean, it's just so sick here. It's got it says Teamfight Tactics on the arm there. I really like the little zippers and stuff like that. You can see the zipper says, can I get it close enough so you can see? It says Teamfight Tactics on the zipper. I mean, that level of detail. Shout out to Riot Games for throwing all this stuff together. Okay, let's lock in on the VOD here. So we start off with a pretty decent, almost Primordian opener and almost Anima opener here, actually. Yasuo and Asol are our gods, and it is just triple gold augment game, so nothing too crazy here. And yeah, we are really just going to hope that we hit one of these econ openers to start our game off. First augment here, bodyguard training, solo plate, and aura farming. None of these look amazing to me to start with. I think aura farming is pretty good, though it does obviously have some low roll options, Shen being like the worst one by far, but I think it's the best of these three at least, especially if you're going to consider lost streak, and he's going to roll. See, he's cluttered mind. He does hover his gods here, and he says, okay, you know, I could take some of this stuff. I mean, in my head, this would be an easy heads up cluttered mind take here. The only downside is it would make it a little bit harder for you to play the anima here, because it would make it hard to like full int from it. And so yeah, he is going to take the aura farming, but here's already where the game gets a little bit annoying here for Terry, is we get Shen off of our aura farming here. This is by far the worst option to get, because he is the only 5 cost that is not really a true carry. He is a carry, and you can kind of put items on him and he'll do a little bit of damage, but you know, try to stabilize on stage 4 around a Shen 2 as your main carry, and you are going to have a horrible time of it, you know, compared to the possibility of, you know, you get a Vex off aura farming, a Sona 2 off aura farming. You could really stabilize around those units and have a very good time, but Shen, he doesn't do it. He does not get the job done. The upside is we do have this anima opener. We just have to hope that we do not get griefed here. I love this thing Terry is doing. I think everybody should be doing this, where if you have anima, you just cut it. During every single fight, just bench it. One, this hides how many stacks you have, so it's just extra information that you're taking away from the people in your game. And it also just means that any kind of player who's just like randomly scouting your board and not paying too close attention will just see, oh, you know, they're not playing anima because they're not fielding 3 anima here. Now, most smart players will, you know, see around that, but hey, you got to do what you can do here, and we are just going to try to full int with anima and hope that no one can grief us. Looks like there are 2 players who are also lost streaking along with us here, so we just need to make sure. And one of them actually just cracked streak, the 7th place player here, so that's great news for us, that they are looking at you know, not full lost streaking. Yeah, actually both of them cracked lost streak here, so there's nobody who's actually full lost streak here except for us, which looks amazing here. Trait quest or cosmic hex. We do opt to take the trait quest here. I think this makes a lot of sense, especially because we are thinking of playing this into Corki here, but we can really play whatever. We're trying to figure out what to do with this Shen, obviously, because it is a Shen 2 that we're going to have to do something with at some point in this game. And obviously, it eventually fits onto the Corki board, usually on more of like a level 9, but yeah. We can now make 40 gold this round, so we are just going to continue to take the losses with our Anima here, and yeah, just be pretty happy about the opener. And now that he knows that there isn't anyone who's actually going to grief him this game, we can make this game plan of just like, let's kill as many units as possible here. I'm going to go Bastion here. He's kind of thinking like, oh, is there a way for me to fit 4 Bastion on this board? Could certainly fit. He's going to throw all the Bastions into Planner and think, maybe we can play like Atrox on this board. I mean, the board he just had there was a 6 Bastion Corki board, which would be crazy. But yeah, I don't know. Look at this as well. Just even holding on to the Anima there and not going for the double down immediately, saying, there's no reason for me to immediately double down here. I can wait and just scout my matchups real quick and see. And then he's like, yeah, I mean, we should be in the clear here. And yeah, he's actually holding on to that board as the 6 Bastion as his potential game plan. I mean, this would make a lot of sense. With the possibility of getting something like a tank item out of this Anima. You'd have Cork, you could also hold into an AAD item. You don't really have anybody who could hold an AP item is the only downside, so you might have to worry about that a little bit. He's going to level up here just to make sure that we do not lose to Krugs, because you don't want to lose to Krugs. It's, and I mean, playing a 3 Anima board, that's like the only time where you can ever lose. But we're going to get our couple of anvils here. We do, for the now, need a game plan of how we are going to cash out this anvil here. I will say Gwen's a very nice pickup here, because that does activate, obviously, 2 traits here. And so we just need a little bit of a plan to activate those last 3 traits. Akali tends to be a really good unit at doing this. Yeah, you can definitely use the Urgot as well to activate like Brawler plus Marauder type stuff if you end up picking up a Marauder, but we do not have that yet. So still gonna be a little bit while before we fully cash that thing out. But I think, and we'll see what Terry wants to do here, that we will actually spend a decent amount of time waiting to see what we are going to get before we actually pop these anvils. Next augment here, don't think we can really do any kind of fast 9 here, so don't think it's gonna be either one of these. The GS seemed fine, but it's looking like he just wants to gain 21 gold here for the econ so that he can actually reach his board, because while Aura Farming gives us a 2-star 5 cost to play around, the Shen is really not what is going to stabilize the board here. This is kind of a cool idea, the Gragas plus Pike here for Voyager. Yeah, and this means that we would just need to push 7 to cash, and he's gonna do it this round actually. It actually gets extra credit here, gets 7 traits in with the Gwen here, and yeah, I mean, with the power of this augment, he gets to make 40 gold in this round, so we barely lose anything at all here, and we are going to cash this out so we can see what we end up picking up here, which will give us a lot of insight into what line we want to play, because we can really play anything from here in this spot here. Obviously, the dream, I don't know, Bastion Emblem for Bastion for free. Challenger Emblem, I mean, you could think about playing this into some kind of Yi board. It's not amazing. In my head, this is probably a Reforge, but it's a little sketch. He is scouting the lobby and saying, there's a decent amount of players who look like they're angling towards this Yi board, right? This guy has the Kindred with the Titanic already. I mean, that very much seems Yi. I think there was another player we were looking at here who had potential odds of playing Yi, maybe the first player we scouted here. Let's look at this again. No, this is just the Kindred guy again. So, I mean, the thing is, we know that guy's going to play Yi for sure here. There is a Flicker Blades player who I guess could throw that onto Kindred, but feel like that's more of like it should be an okay item on Xayah. We'll see what that player ends up playing. Actually, I'm kind of interested, but he's going to pop this first anvil here, get the information. I like this a lot, actually. Pop the anvil before even reforging so that he can hold it for extra information, and ends up taking the chain vest here, and then pops the second anvil and does take sword here, looking like we are going to play towards this. That is a cryo hex that we're going to pick up here. Very solid, especially with, potentially even like a 4 Bastion setup that we could play later. Sadly, none of our hits are good units for Corki. We find the Thomas Kench here. So still, I would say, pretty hard flexing both options here. We will see if we do want to reforge the Challenger emblem at this point, though, because there's a lot of other possibilities that would be very, very good to hit here. He's gonna opt to not even play the TK for now, just saying, I'd rather just play this board that I got going on right here, and not worry too much about that, even though we are gonna take a pretty bad loss here, down to 400 stacks, so 23 HP, not the worst cash of all time. Definitely pretty happy with that. And this actually, very, very smart idea from from Terry here. The idea is we're about to get a 400 cash here. If we don't like our anima item, if we do cash something AP, we can still hold this Reforger that we got off ASOL to then use on a pretty bad item here. And we get kind of that, where we get the Ice Blast, which is a quite solid item, but then we get the Aurora item, which is like one of the more mediocre items from our standpoint here. So now we can actually use the Reforger and then end up actually reforging the Aurora item. But, you know, had we, you know, got something that we didn't want as far as the item that we were getting, like our big anima item, we could actually reforge that. And yeah, he's going to throw all these items onto Aurora here. Only downside is obviously we threw the DB on her, but hey, hopefully this will help us win a fight. I mean, this is actually best case scenario is we win 3-6 here, because now we actually have another whole life to play with here, and we can 4-1 it, low-key even 3-7 it if you really want to. And yeah, he is going to 3-7 it and roll a bit here. Does pick up the Riven on the way here, but does pick up Caitlyn for this other idea. I think this is such an interesting idea to play around the Caitlyn and potentially 6 Bastion being his cap out with Corki here. But yeah, I mean, we got a lot more gold to roll here and anvils to make here, so we'll see what else we get here. Pick up the Poppy, pick up Fiora pair, pick up another Poppy, and a Fiora 2 to hit this board. Okay. This is one of those situations where, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's good. Okay, we reforge. We actually get the Briar item here, which is not the worst. Do end up making Guard Breaker here to finish out our items, and we make Adaptive Helm, which is a good Rammus item. This is one of the cases where, like, I mean, this looks pretty good, but it's also, you have to figure out a way to actually fit this on the board, and we are going to lose this fight down to 12 HP. Like, this can be very high roll, but it can also not be high roll because it doesn't fit on the board right now, right? So we have to figure out a way to actually play around this Fiora here. It's actually really, really difficult. We are going to pick up the rest of these Bastions here. So 4 Bastion is our board here. Do pick up the Corki 2, which is nice. He's going to throw a Kali into Team Planner. The idea being the Akali actually bridges these traits really nicely, and that's going to be our next in. And we already have the Kayla in here, so we don't need to be playing, you know, 3 Fate Weaver. We fit the Fate Weaver in here, and this is our board: a 4 Bastion Nova Corki Riven duo carry setup. I mean, I think it's easy to say, oh, duh, he high rolled the Fiora too. He's a beast. But like, I swear 90% of the people watching this video, you would actually find a way to bot 4 from this spot, because you'd be like, oh man, am I really playing Fiora on this board? Nah, I'll just sell it and go for Riven. Or you'd be like, okay, well, I'll just roll down for the exact Corki board and not fit Marauder in or anything for this Riven. But he actually found the perfect board to play with this. 4 Bastion, fits 3 Meeple in, gets the 3 Nova in on this board as well, gives him the armor shred that he was lacking because he didn't get to LW onto the Corki, and now his items are perfect. He hits the Rammus too. Even the Briar item here is pretty okay onto the Fiora here as an item to play around. So everything kind of works out here. Has 5 or 15. I guess we're gonna see. What is that? That's the Solar Hex actually, right? I mean, that should be amazing here, because the last thing that we're lacking in this spot is Heal Cut. So yeah, I mean, this looks great here. We can take this, guarantee the Heal Cut onto the Corki, and be in a really, really nice spot. So we are gonna throw this down here. Should be Solar Hex. Yep. Okay. So spot looking good. This does also mean that we are going to get the Yasuo boon, which is what we want here. Getting the extra effectiveness on the Cryo Hex is really, really big for the Rammus, just making this guy a big tank monster. And yeah, I mean, the spot is looking quite good here. And we have just stabilized nicely. I don't 100% know what our level 9 is going to be here, because we kind of fit everything already, and you can't do the thing that you normally do where you fit Bard plus Shen, because we're already playing the Shen. So yeah, and also, my god, this augment Gilded Steel so good on a board like this, where we're getting that extra durability onto the Rammus here. I mean, it's perfect, right? When your main tank is a 4 cost, that's exactly when you want to take Gilded Steel here. Use the 5 cost as like an extra duo carry on this board, and then use the Rammus as your main tank with the extra durability. It's just beautiful here, and the Corki doing great work, and the board just makes sense, right? You know, Corki Riven makes sense. You have that kind of nice duo carry that can wrap, hit the back line, Corki can blow up front line, and then, you know, Riven can kill back line. That's exactly what Fiora can do in this spot as well here. He's scouting the whole lobby here to see how good it is to just straight up take this here and take it for the Bramble Vest, and there is a lot of AD in the lobby here, so yeah, he's gonna opt to make this, right? The only downside is it leaves us with no real last Fiora item, but he says there's so much value in actually getting this here, and we can actually make adaptive here, and be decently happy with the items. Adaptive just gets the Fiora casting, and I mean, honestly, down the line, once we hit Carousel here, very likely that we take a Fiora item and then we just adaptive Shen. That gets him casting faster. That is attack speed reduction for the enemy front line and some extra attack speed sometimes for this Fiora here. And you can see we fight a very solid fast 9 board, and it just gets cleared by our setup. I mean, it makes sense, right? We have every advantage that you could have here. We have 2 2-star 5 quests on our board. We have the Ice Blast armor. We've capped out the board very, very nicely. Gonna level for Rast, the Redeemer here. Not too bad. 10 armor, MR, and AS onto our entire board here. I will say Armor and MR is kind of like the worst like stat to get onto these guys. You'd prefer anything else because they are obviously Bastion, so that's all we really got going for us. Would love something like a Morgana for the durability. The problem is it's not that much durability. And the attack speed never feels bad, right? Attack speed onto the Fiora, attack speed onto the Corki, definitely pretty good to play around. But we'll see here. Yeah, even thinks about playing the Sona here, just saying, yeah, you know, maybe we'd find something better just from random Sona mod here compared to what we got going on here, but doesn't really get a very good one. The double attack one is not going to do much onto Corki. Rotate into Leona 4, as always happens in modern day TFT, is every game has to be top 2'd at least by Leona 4, and oftentimes one out. We'll see if we can chew through it. So far, it looks pretty good. And yeah, that is a dub against Leona 4 for this board. All right, this is where, I mean, Sterak's Edge of Night is kind of a non-bow. You could take it, I guess. I would kind of want to take something a little bit better here, but he is just gonna opt to take the Sterak's here. He knows, you know, there's decent odds if we go for the random anvil here and we try to find something, you know, like better, then we end up just hitting like absolute garbage. So makes sense, and you can never have too much survivability on a unit like Fiora, who loves to just dash into the middle of the board and die, and so having that survivability really good versus boards like this Vex board, which we are just gonna bowl over, and that is an 8 streak, by the way, just Giga Loss streak from our Anima, cashed out beautifully, and now we are win streaking super, super hard. And this guy, ooh, was trying to look for, I don't know what. I thought they were going for some 3 stars, but I don't know how they possibly would. I don't know what happened. I guess they were just tilted. Also, to be fair, like, they knew the second that they were rotating to this board from Terry that they were just going to die. So, you know, that's the kind of pressure a board like this puts on the lobby, where everybody else in the lobby knows all of a sudden I'm playing for second, really, unless something crazy happens, unless I hit something crazy like Leona 4. There's no way I'm winning this lobby. So everybody else has to save HP and then go for like crazy outs like that. But yeah, I mean, at this point, we're holding the Morgana on bench here. Actually considers the Kindred in on this board, but I don't think it's too good just to get a little bit of an extra shield onto the Rammus here. I definitely think we can just chill on this, and then Morgana can be our level 10, which, you know, seems decent enough. Oh my god, that guy also farmed Elder Dragon. They are just hitting everything here. Pop Blast Anvil here. We are going to check the Fiora one, but not, or the Sona one, not the best here. What, Crown Guard here? Oh, blue buff, yeah. Just get the Shen casting. I mean, it's actually so good versus this Master Yi. He's like perma-CC'd getting slowed by the Shen cast. I mean, look how little damage that Yi did, because he's just sitting in the Shen Rift, getting all of his attack speed deleted. That's actually so, so good in that matchup here. We do find Bard. He was hovering the 5... Meeple, because that is a way that you could cap, I guess. He's actually going to opt to just play the Bart over the Mork. Says, you know what, 4% durability on my board for the majority of the fight is just not really worth it. It's not that good, so I'd much rather actually just have the Bard, give the extra meeps to my most important units here. Makes sense. All right, can we beat the board now that it has Elder Dragon? The Elder Dragon is so tanky, plus the Leona. Oh no, there is no justice in the world. We have top 2 locked in here, but it is looking a little bit rough. Can we actually beat out the... Oh my god. I mean, that board is very, very capped as well. I mean, literally farming the Elder Dragon off Bard, that's everything that you could ever ask for. But selfishly, 1, for the VOD review, and 2, just for the fact that, I mean, it's a Leona 4. I hope that we can win this fight here. Just need to keep Fiora alive for as long as possible here. The Fiora does end up on the Elder Dragon and is going to kill it pretty quickly, but our front line's literally already dead. It's just another Leona 4 dub. I mean... I mean, what can you say? What can you say? I mean, still a valiant effort from Terry here and a really creative, interesting game played. Going back to everything that I've been talking about the past few days, it's just good TFT, right? Kind of cooking up a really interesting board. Was going to play around the vertical bastion, but then found the Fiora, found a way to fit the Fiora on the board and played like a really cool cook on the Fiora Corki setup. I just think this is a beautiful game. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, I will say shout out to the winner of my Legendary Tacticians tournament, Dorito. Shout out for the whole top 4, Dorito, Mirnik, Adriel, and Dyer here. They're going to be getting paid out these nice amounts for my mid-set tournament for people who are in my Legendary Tacticians. So it was an absolute blast. The full VOD is up on my YouTube if you want to go check it out and see all my students battle it out against each other. Was the last game was so close. I thought we were going on to a game 6, and then Dorito just completely clutched it out at the end. So it was really fun to see, and it's just really nice to have the community come together, do these kind of tournaments. It's always a blast. So yeah, and if you want to be in one of these tournaments in the future, check out my Metafy. The people in Legendary Tacticians got guaranteed entrance into this tournament, and then we had a few people fill from my Tacticians University, just because there were some slots left over, because not everybody in Legendary Tacticians wanted to participate, or could participate because of time and stuff like that. So if you want to participate in the future, go check out either of those programs, and yeah, push your rank before the end of the set, because we still got a good amount of time before the end of the set. So if you do want to hit, you know, Master, Grandmaster, Challenger, all are certainly doable with the time we have left. All right, thank you guys for watching. As always, shout out to Riot Games again for this the sick jacket. Isn't it so cool, man? I'm loving looking at it. I honestly, I shouldn't wear the beige shirt with it, because it's kind of, I do love this shirt though as well that I have on, but that's a shout out for Uniqlo, who we are not, I mean, I'm not being paid to shout out Riot, but like at least Riot sent me free stuff. Uniqlo didn't send me free stuff. If you're a brand manager at Uniqlo, get in contact with me. You can see my business email down below. I would love if you sent me a few free shirts. I would definitely shill for the Uniqlo brand. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching as always. Bye.